run through a wall.
We're going to run some clock. Or maybe
This team is destined. You just got embarrassed out there. And this is the exact reason why I said I would not buy back into this baseball team after the way they beat the Mariners and after that National Series. You just pissed yourself all over Citi Field. What a disgrace of a start out of Christopher Sanchez. Just pathetic out of him. Rob Thomson, a pathetic managerial game from him. That was a disaster. This offense goes right back into their old habits as soon as they face the Mets. This team cannot win meaningful baseball games. They cannot win games against actually good teams. They can't do it. They can't do it. It's not feasible for them. They've lost 8 straight games in Citi Field. 8 straight games in Citi Field. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. 8 straight games you lost in Citi Field. Let me tell you this, and we'll get in. There's a lot to get into, folks. Lot to get into, so make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. This is a disaster. Oh, I'll tell you this, though. Rob Thomson costed this Phillies team. Rob Thomson showed the team that he didn't really care about winning the game when he put Jordan Romano in the game. The game spiraled out of control when Rob decided to continue to keep Christopher Sanchez in. The game spiraled out of control when he decided to put Romano in the baseball game. Sanchez was a disaster today. Don't get me wrong. A total, utter disaster. But a lot of tonight's ball game falls on Rob Thomson. Another night of a no urgency, no will to win. I don't get it. You're facing your rival. You're facing a team that could potentially beat you in the division. And the way that you played tonight shows that they are actually better than you. I don't care how many games they are out of first place. I don't care how many games above them in the division you are. Tonight showed it does not matter. Not an ounce. Not an ounce that doesn't matter. You got pantsed. Look, this is how I want to picture it. This is how I want everybody to understand and picture and remember this baseball game. The way that this went down tonight in Citi Field, it was essentially the Mets tying the Phillies' feet together, pantsing them, and making them run, making them jog. The Phillies got pantsed. They pissed themselves all over the field. It was a disgrace. It was a joke. I can honestly puke right now. That was putrid. Absolutely, utterly putrid from this baseball team. I'm so done, man. I'm so done. I mean, this is the reason I continue to sit here and I say, hey, this baseball team is not, they're not good. Yeah, man. Hey, man, you know what? They won a couple games. They won a couple games against the Mariners, right? They won a couple games against the Nationals. What can they do against real playoff teams? What can they do when they have to play when the lights get bright? How do they play when they face their division rival on the road? You got pantsed. You got spanked. You got flat out embarrassed. Embarrassed tonight. And I'm fed up with this baseball team, and you should be too. Because I'll tell you this, the way they play tonight, there is no hope for them come postseason. There is no hope for them in the rest of this series. Look, man, I don't get it. Let's take a phone call. What's going on, man? State your name and where you're from.
Hey, it's Alex from, I used to be South Jersey, now I'm Nebraska.
Okay, yeah. What you got for me, Alex?
But I got a lot. I would say. One, this team simply doesn't have it. We have. I don't want to call them scrubs because no one on the team's like really a scrub like the Rockies have or Oakland has or like what some of those like terrible teams. But we got some scrubs for being a very good, not very good, but a good baseball team. You look at our record, and then you look at our roster. We're like, how are we still 5 games above the Mets, starting Max Kepler, starting Brandon Marsh, pitching Jordan Romano, pitching. You get my point. It's embarrassing. And I was listening to WIP before I left, and they made a good point. This Phillies team is like driving a like a luxury car, super nice Lambo, let's say, and the check engine light comes on. Something's wrong, but you're gonna just keep riding it out until it either disappears or it's gonna collapse. And the past years have proven that it's not gonna disappear. And what happened in the World Series in 22? They collapsed. What happened in Arizona? They collapsed. What happened against the Mets? They collapsed. It's a repeating cycle. And you know what's going to happen again this year? They're going to collapse, no matter who they play.
Yeah, well, tonight was pathetic, and tonight showed that no matter what fans think about this baseball team, no matter how they played against the Mariners, no matter how they played against the Nationals, this is still the same old baseball team that doesn't perform when the lights get bright. This is the same baseball team that doesn't show up when the lights are shining on them, and they have to prove that they are a legitimate baseball team.
Yeah, I agree. I could make this argument, really. I could make the argument that the 2022 World Series team is better than the team we have right now. Because guess what? The team's hasn't gotten any better since the 22 team. So who's better, Gene Segura or Bryson Stott at second base? I'll take Gene. At least Gene got on base. Bryson Stott can't hit. And, you want to say, oh, well, it's Gold Glove, yada, yada, yada. Well, guess what? The reason we haven't been back to the World Series is because we can't hit. So,
yeah, well, you saw it again tonight. They can't hit with runners in score position. And let me read you this stat. So the offense struck out 12 times tonight, and then they left 7 guys on base. They left 7 guys on base tonight. I mean, this offense was flat out pathetic, and they've been pathetic. I just don't understand what it is about the Mets that they cannot, that they can't get through.
Yeah, I don't know. A part of me, like no matter what happens, part of me truly thinks that, you might disagree with me, that platooning basically our entire team affects it. Because if you look back at our 2022 team, we really only platooned Marsh and Rojas. Caskey was our everyday right fielder. Stott was our everyday shortstop before he moved to second. He was our everyday shortstop. They knew they were going to play. Now you have Kepler, who's already called out topper. You have Caskey, who's called out topper. We traded for Harrison Bader, who platoons. We had Rojas, who platoons. He's not up anymore, but we have Marsh, who platoons. Now Bryson Stott's platooning. How many people are we going to platoon? And you look at teams in the past who have made a deep playoff run and won a World Series. They don't really have any guys that platooned. Like, look at our 2008 World Series team. Who platooned? You look at the Dodgers or Yankees from last year. Who platooned? Really nobody. Maybe 1 or 2 guys, but not, 5 or 6 guys in the lineup.
Yeah, no, it's been really bad. And this baseball team, they cannot win with platooning a bunch of guys. And I'll tell you what, and I know you call in a bunch. I know you're not a Rob guy. There was no urgency, no will to win, no urgency, no fire, no, just nothing. It was pathetic out of him. And his managerial decisions really showed tonight. Bad. So, Alex, you got anything else for me?
Yeah, I'm actually not as mad towards Jordan Romano as some people, because at some point the dude can't pitch. Rob obviously knows he can't pitch. I truly think whether or not Romano went in, we weren't winning that game. It just wasn't going in our favor. But at some point, Dave Dombrowski has to look at himself in the mirror and release him for the betterment of this team. You're telling me there's now one single free agent reliever out there who's better than Jordan Romano? Not one. Not a single guy, because obviously he doesn't think that. And, I get about his contract, whatever he's making, 8 or 12, whatever $1 million it is. But at some point, we just got to eat it, take that chance, because it's obviously not going to get any better.
It's so bad. It is so bad. And I'm not upset. I mean, look, when you throw Jordan Romano in the game, you know exactly what you're going to get out of Romano. It's on Rob for putting him in, but really it's on Dave Dombrowski for keeping him on this team and him being one of the relievers on this team. I mean, that's who it falls on, really.
I have one more thing.
Go ahead, please.
This game, not even the game, this series, the next series versus Atlanta, isn't only a huge test for the team, it's also a huge test for Rob. It really is. And right now, I think all year Rob has been failing. I don't think he's a very good manager. I think I think it's a lot harder to lose with this team than to win. I think you could be a terrible manager and still win with this team, only because of, it's hard to lose when your best players are, Sanchez, Wheeler before he got hurt, Harper, Schwarber. It's hard to lose with teams like that. But at some point, we got to get over that hump. And right now, we can't get over that hump with Rob. I've never seen the team get hit with more pitches and we don't retaliate. I've never seen more bad calls from umpires where our manager doesn't say anything. He doesn't defend his players. Like today would have been a perfect opportunity to just, get into umpire's face, do something. But instead he lets Alec Boehm complain again, typical. Lets him complain again about a microphone shining in his eye, which basically iced Christopher Sanchez, because he was kind of dealing up until that point, iced him. And, it's just the same thing with Alec Boehm complaining. And, after they moved to that microphone, we got lit up. So same thing about Boehm complaining, same thing about Rob not getting off his feet, same thing about Rob keeping pitchers in too long or, not keeping them in long enough. Same with our bullpen, same with them not hitting. We can't expect things to change until we do something major, whether it's, fire the whole coaching staff in the offseason or, at some point we got to dismantle these guys. I know we love Schwarber. I love Brandon Marsh. I know some people don't, but, at some point, some of these homegrown guys that Philly loved, at some point we got to move on and say, listen, these guys aren't good enough to win. Because that's what it comes down to. All we care about is winning, and they're not winning.
I agree, Alex. I agree. Thank you for the phone call, Alex. I greatly appreciate it. So I'm looking up here on Twitter. So John Clark tweets out, he says, Jordan Romano gives up the 3-run blast of Torrens. And his ERA, he has given up 4 earned runs. His ERA for the season. Now, this is Jordan Romano's ERA for the season. His ERA is now 8.29. That's what it is. 8.29. It's bad. Oh, it is so bad. It's pathetic baseball that I'm watching out of this baseball team. So before I forget, welcome on in, everybody, to Broad Street Sports, your home for the best Philly sports talk every single day and unfiltered. This is the Phillies post-game show. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. You guys want to call into the show, 215-839-8246. That's the number to get in. And today's show and every show here on Broad Street Sports is brought to you by Scola's Perfect Scoop, South Philly's home for Sundays, milkshakes, acai bowls, and more. 2020 Penrose Avenue, minutes from the stadium, minutes from Chicky and Pete's, right in the heart of South Philly. Go check them out. They are the sponsor of Broad Street Sports, today's show, and every show here on Broad Street Sports. And, I'm pretty depressed tonight, and I think most fans are. So if you're depressed like me, maybe you want to, some ice cream. Maybe want some ice cream to, feel off the depression from the night's ball game. Head on over to Scola's Perfect Scoop. They are absolutely wonderful. Let's check some more comments here. Official KJ McCoy tweets out, pathetic. Absolutely, it was pathetic. Jordan Dobbins, disgrace. Embarrassing is not enough, I can say. What a pathetic performance tonight. Also get Meatball Romano off my team. Yeah, he's pathetic. He's so effing bad. It's not even funny. This was the worst ass whooping I've seen when I've seen when the Yankees came to town last year. Yeah, I mean this is a pathetic brand of baseball that this team plays versus good baseball teams. 302 Birds podcast. What's up, guys? Horrendous. We looked horrible. Yeah, we did. Embarrassing the Mets owners. Oh, it's so bad. Jordan Dobbins again. Sanchez was horrible tonight. This game was on Rob. Yeah, Sanchez was this was by far the worst start out of Sanchez. I mean, and that's not, that's pretty hard to do. That's not hard to do because Sanchez has been so great. But I mean, this was by far the worst start I've seen out of him. Just so bad. Freddie in the comments. What's up, Freddie? How you doing, pal? Eastern Kentucky basketball. It's time to admit Rob sucks. Yeah, no, Rob tonight. I mean, Rob really costed you a game tonight, flat out. Rob, I mean, you got no production from the offensive side of the baseball. Christopher Sanchez was absolutely terrible, and Rob Thomson had a pathetic managerial game today. Pathetic. I mean, the fact that he left Christopher Sanchez in the game as long as he did, I mean, of course it's going to set up for a freaking disaster. And that's what it did. And that's where it all stemmed. That fourth and fifth inning today is what just rode us into the sunset. Perfect chance for Rob to get in the umpire's face over anything to get some life into this team. Yeah, well, I was pretty confused. So, when Bohm grounded into that double play and then he starts saying, hey, there's that light out in the outfield. He says there's the light out in the outfield, and, you guys need to check that out. It's bullshit, the whole 9 yards. That's a perfect opportunity for Rob to get in the umpire's face and say, hey, yo, the Mets are cheating. Hey, yo, you got to do something about this. Rob Thompson sat in the dugout like a freaking robot, like a sad little puppy dog, and that's what he did in that dugout. It was so bad. I mean, I thought the Mets were cheating. Maybe the Mets were cheating. I don't know. But whatever it was, Bohm figured it out. But we still don't even know what it was, though. We still don't know what it was. It was still just something out in the outfield. I don't know what it was. I don't think anybody knows what it was. But hey, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's so much. There's just so much to get into. And I can continue to just rant and go on spirals, but I don't know. What's up, man? State your name and where you're from.
Gavin, Fredericksburg, PA.
What's up, Gavin?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. What you got on the game, bro?
Dude, pathetic loss, bro. It was awful. It was just brutal. I mean, you have the chance to put the nails in the coffin, honestly. 7 games up, choke them out, give them no life. But no, you just shit the bed. It's awful, man.
It was awful. So let me get it from you. What was the worst part of tonight's game? I've touched so far. I've touched on Rob's pathetic managerial decisions. I've touched on how bad Christopher Sanchez was. I mean, maybe you think that really the worst part tonight was how the offense went cold. What was like the nail in the coffin for you tonight of the real reason that we lost?
Yeah, man. So, yeah, you could say Rob. I mean, that was the main factor. I personally think he left Sanchez in too long when you could tell he was out of gas. So you could say that. You could say the bullpen. But honestly, man, the offense, it's so inconsistent. I mean, there are innings, multiple innings, even in the earlier innings where you had men on base and you left them on. You didn't drive them in. And that is such the shitty part because when the game started, they were working counts. They were staying patient. They had good plate discipline. They were driving the ball. They were hitting it hard. And then they're getting men on base. And then you just lost it. You quickly lost momentum from one inning. Then one inning, it all switched.
Well, I think what really happened was as soon as the Phillies saw the Mets start to crawl back and start to get some runs, this team just rolled over and died. And, I mean, that's just like I don't know. It's just that doesn't make sense to me. You go from having great at-bats, getting guys on base, Bohm with a two RBI single, and you just, again, you roll over and die as soon as you see a little bit of adversity. It doesn't make sense to me. It really, really does not.
No, it doesn't at all. And again, baseball, it's a tricky game. There's days that, you won't hit it. The Phillies are known to be streaky and an inconsistent lineup, and we all know that. But when you play a division rival and you're 7 games up and you have the chance to put the literal nails in the coffin and end it, and you fail, and not only fail, but you get blown out, it's such a bad look on you. It's such a bad look. And then heading into tomorrow with confidence and knowing the Mets that, they won't give up because they still want to win the division. They have some fight left in them. So knowing just coming off of this loss, going into tomorrow, it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back.
It really will be interesting. And I hope, Rob has a nice message for them down in the clubhouse or whatever tonight. I really do. I really, really, really do. Because, the rest of this series and maybe even the season rests on how they bounce back tomorrow and how they bounce back on Wednesday. But thank you for the call, Gavin. I really do appreciate it. Oh, man. Everybody feels the same way. This was pathetic. Pathetic brand of baseball. God. You guys want to call into the show, 215-839-8246. That's the number to get in. So frustrating, man. So damn frustrating. If the light bothered Bohm so much, why wouldn't he say anything to the home plate umpire about the light? It obviously wasn't so bad. He complains about everything to get him. Hold on. He complains about everything. Get him off the team. Yeah, well, yeah. Look, I want everybody to understand this. He brings up Eastern Kentucky basketball there. I'll bring it back up. He brings up a great point, folks. He brings up a great point. If the whole entire AB and Alec Bohm's in the box and he's staring at a light shining right into his eye and he can't really see the pitches, that's what he was complaining about. He said he couldn't see the pitches, that the light out there was bothering him. It was messing him up. So if that's the case, why didn't you bring it up in the middle of the AB? Why didn't you bring it up while the AB was going on? Why'd you wait until after you grounded out into a double play to bring it up? That's something. That's a crucial spot. Runner on, no outs, you ground into a double play, and then after you claim that there's a light shine in your eyes. How? Why would you not bring that up while you're in the middle of the AB? Why would you not bring that up? That's so dumb to me. He's so idiotic. That's a perfect opportunity there for you to do anything, man. To do anything. You're complaining. So you ground into a double play, and then after you do that, you complain about a light being shined into your eyes. But yeah, you sat there the entire AB and watched that light shine into your eyes and never said anything until after you grounded out into the double play. In what world does that make sense, dude? In what effing world does that make sense? It doesn't. And that just shows the pathetic baseball that this team plays. There's no high level IQ. It's dumb. They have no IQ. Alec Bohm is getting, I don't want to spend so much time on this, but Alec Bohm is dead ass getting a light shined in his eye. The entire AB, and waits until after he grounds into a double play to talk about what had happened during the AB. Does that make sense to you guys? Don't make sense to me. That don't make sense to me. It does not make sense to me. Oh, I got a couple more topics to get into here. Let's go to Christopher Sanchez. Let's rip into Christopher a little bit, shall we? Shall we rip into Christopher Sanchez? Let's rip into him, right? He was freaking pathetic. Yeah, really. Yo, Sanchez. Really, that's the way you're going to come out and pitch? Now that Wheeler's out, you're our quote-unquote ace. So that's the way you come out and pitch against your rivals in New York, in Citi Field. You come out and pitch like that? That was pathetic. Flat out embarrassing. He pissed himself on the pitcher's mound today. Flat out. He got pantsed and then he pissed himself. That was a pathetic start from Christopher Sanchez. First 3 innings, great. Fourth and fifth were a disaster. And yeah, he was kept in the game way too long by Rob. But in no way, shape, or form, now that you're the ace, because Wheeler's out, and you're against your rival, it's time to put the Mets away in the division, and you come out and pitch just so awfully, just so pathetically. I'll tell you this team looked like they had no heart. They had no heart out there tonight. And that was the saddest thing. I mean, as soon as Christopher Sanchez tripped on his foot or tripped on his spikes, whatever it was, right? When he tripped or, misstepped, and then he had that balk and Alonso goes over to second. As soon as that happened, the dynamic of this baseball game changed. He could not settle back in to where he had to be. He couldn't settle in. So, I mean, really, it's a mix-up here between Rob being the biggest disaster of the night and Christopher Sanchez being the biggest disaster of the night. Biggest disaster. Let's read another comment. He's allowed to have bad games. Can't pitch lights out every game. But how about this offense? All year, our starting pitching has won us games. When was the last time the offense stepped up to win a game? Well, the offense stepped up to win us all 3 games in that Mariner series. All 3 games in that Mariner series, they stepped up. And they won us games, even though the starting pitching was great, but the offense still won us baseball games. But here's the thing. I'm not disagreeing that Christopher Sanchez can't have bad nights, but you have to be on your A game against the New York Mets. You have to bring your best of your best of your best against the Mets, and you didn't bring the best of the best of the best against the Mets. You rolled over and pissed yourself. That's what you did. You rolled over and died. And that's not cool, man. That's not cool. So, yeah, I completely agree that, Christopher Sanchez and every starting pitcher on this team's allowed to have a bad night. But your bad night cannot happen against the Mets. It can't happen against the Mets, man. In no way, shape, or form should your worst start be against the Mets. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's get to Rob now, right? Hold on. Let's read another comment. I mean, one starting pitching collapse, we never win 9-8 or 11-9 games. Once starting pitching falls apart earlier in the game, we have no fight. Yeah, I agree with that. I 1,000% agree. This offense, I don't know what it is, but it feels like this offense just rolls over, and I continue to use that analogy, but they roll over and die. But this offense cannot play when things get tough, man. When they see a little bit of adversity, this baseball team can't fight back. And it's from the offensive side, and it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. How many $300 million players do we have on this baseball team, and we can't come back in baseball games? It doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense to me. Oh, man. Rob Thomson had a horrible managing game tonight against the Mets. Just flat out pathetic. The fact that he left Christopher Sanchez in that game to take the beating. Not only did he make him finish the 4th where he started to give up a lot of those runs, but then he throws him back out there in the 5th, and then he gets shelled in the 5th. That was a horrible managing game from Rob Thomson today. It honestly could have been even worse than the Christopher Sanchez start that we got. I mean, the fact that he didn't complain about that light shining in Bohm's eye, that was a disgrace. He left Christopher Sanchez in the game way too long. This was a bad managerial game from Rob Thomson tonight. Flat out. No ifs, ands, or buts. He screwed you. Rob Thomson screwed you tonight. Yeah, you didn't get your best out of Sanchez. Yeah, you didn't get your best out of your offense. But you also didn't get anything good out of your starting pitching. You didn't get anything out of your starting pitching. So, I don't know. I'm so fed up, man. This baseball team just makes me want to scream, punch a wall or something. I don't know. Man. I don't know. Rob, and I've been such a big defender of Rob and what Rob does. I don't know what it is, but I've always just been a Rob guy. Maybe it's because, we just always win with Rob, even though it's not always perfect, but we do win with Rob. I mean, we do make the postseason every time Rob has been here. But I'm really starting to get fed up with the way that he leaves pitchers in the game so long. He either takes him out too early or he leaves him in too long and to take a beating. And at that point, you cannot let Christopher Sanchez take that beating like that. You want to let Romano take the beating? Fine. You want to let Joe Ross take the beating? Fine. But the fact that you let Christopher Sanchez stay in that game as long as he did, taking that beating, doubles into the gaps, doubles into the corners, line drive singles. Dude, that's not right, man. That's not right. And that was a pathetic managerial game out of Rob Thomson tonight. Just absolutely a piss poor managing game from Rob Thomson. And I'll tell you this too. Look, I'm trying to find the words, but I really can't, man. You know, this offense tonight was piss poor. They actually started the game really well, working good counts, getting on base, driving guys home. But as soon as the Senga got taken out of the game, they never made the adjustment to the Mets bullpen. They never did. It was so piss poor, swinging at pitches out of the zone, no plate discipline. They struck out 12 times tonight and left 7 guys on base. At one point, I saw a stat that they were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. How pathetic is that? Now, this baseball team is all around bad tonight. All around bad. You look, I mean, like again, man. You flat out got embarrassed by the Mets tonight. Flat out. You flat out got embarrassed by the New York Mets tonight. They pulled your pants down and spanked you around. That was pathetic. Not the best start out of Sanchez, just pathetic out of him. Rob Thomson, disgraceful. I don't even know. I'm so done. The way that they bounce back tomorrow, the way that they bounce back in Wednesday and then in the Brave series, that's going to mean a lot. That is by far going to mean a lot. Oh, man, I just can't. Ricky Bo got a stat that the thing Bohm has been complaining about has been there since at least 2017, and that was the turning point of the game. It's so dumb, man. This baseball team is finding any excuse to be like, oh, yeah, well, that's why we lost. We lost because there was a light shine in my eye. Give me a damn break, man. Give me a damn effing break. But yeah, guys, sad loss tonight. If you guys are depressed like me, why don't you guys go stop over to Scola's Perfect Scoop in South Philly, the best sundaes, milkshakes, acai bowls, and more for more than 5 years. 2020 Penrose Avenue, minutes from the stadium, minutes from Chicky and Pete's, right in the heart of South Philly. Oh, man. You guys got to get over there. You guys are depressed, want to eat some ice cream after this baseball game, head on over to Skull's Perfect Scoop. Tell them Pro Street Sports sent you. But yeah, I mean, I'm done. I'm so angry. I'm sweating my ass off right now. It's so bad. It's so bad. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, I'll see you tomorrow night. Hopefully, with a different outcome, of course. But thank you all for tuning in to the Pro Street Sports Phillies post game show. Yeah, this is Pro Street Sports, your home for the best Philly sports talk every single day and unfiltered. I will see you all tomorrow night, hopefully, with a very, very different outcome. Harper has been absolutely insane. I'm ready to run through a wall.
We're going to run some clock, or maybe some.
This team is destined